All right, sellers, are you paying CBC, co-broke commission, co-broke compensation, buyer's broker compensation? I'm going to show you why you should not be paying that. Whenever you first interview your listing agent, you should ask them, how are you going to handle my money when it comes to buyer's broker compensation? Since the rule change, I have about 98% of my listings that have not paid a co-broke buyer's compensation. And that can be a savings of 2.5%, 3.5% off the sales price. That's huge. That's $10,000, $20,000. You could take that number, right, that you're not paying the buyer's brokerage and adding it onto your sales price. So if you sell a property for $400,000, you don't pay 2.5% buyer's broker compensation, you can then add that onto the top. And you don't have to worry about it appraising because you're not literally adding it onto the top. That could be an extra $10,000 savings. I have a plan for my sellers where we're able to negotiate that out. Here's a perfect example. I'm gonna give you a couple examples. First of all, the offer came in right here. They always call me and say, hey, is the seller paying CBC? And I always say, I don't say no, because we may. I say, write it in the offer what you want. And in Pennsylvania, here's our opportunity to write it in. This one here wrote in, they want 3%. So I ended up negotiating back and forth for a while, and you can see what the final offer was. Had to initial the change, red strike, 0% compensation for one of my last two listings that I posted about in my stories. They're not paying any buyer's broker compensation. Now, another reason you shouldn't offer any compensation out of the gate, and I also feel this way about a home warranty, you're just throwing money away that you can negotiate in later. Why put all your cards on the table whenever you could hold that back? You may have to use it, you may be able to save it. Perfect example, a listing I listed, if it was a traditional way, I probably would have asked for 2.5% to just give it to the buyer's broker just for the hell of it. But we did a thing where we don't offer any out of the gate and we see what they ask for. This buyer's agent only asked for 2%. That's right, that's a 0.5% savings without doing anything. Some agents are just asking for 1%. Why is that? Whenever you go into a listing contract, forever, it's always been this way, you sign a listing contract that states how much you're going to pay in compensation, any administration fees, any other fees, and the length of the contract. Now when buyer's agents, I'm a buyer's agent as well, I take a buyer out, by law, I'm sure some break this law, you have to have a buyer agency contract signed on said buyer's agency contract that has the length that you're going to be working with the buyer's agent and any compensation you would be responsible for if the seller isn't offering any or they can't negotiate any in. I'm thinking some buyer's agents are probably having a zero there, thinking they're going to get the compensation from the listing agent, because I've had some pushback from some buyer's agents. Why aren't you offering any compensation? That's stupid. We always offer blah, blah, blah. I work for the seller. I had to tell someone this yesterday. I don't work for you, the buyer's agent. I work for the seller. We have a fiduciary responsibility to get the most money for our sellers. Comment below.